What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Togozani Mabena. Thank you so much for joining me. To my new subscribers, welcome. We appreciate your support. If you're watching this and you've not subscribed, please go ahead and click on the subscribe button. I want to ask you guys to share the link of my channel with your loved ones and everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Let them join our family. We would love to have you guys. Okay, this is like the 177th time I'm filming this. I want to encourage people. We're still praying at home. Please keep praying at home wherever you are for everyone else that is losing their lives because of the pandemic, and people who are affected by it and people who are fighting it. I think there's no better time to remember God and to remember prayer as this. So keep praying for your loved ones and for generally life as it is. You know, people are losing their jobs, people are struggling mentally, people are fighting, you know, at home with families. So let us all pray for yourself. Pray that you are centered, that you're okay, that you can survive the pandemic, and that emotionally you're also okay. Rest when you can. And yeah, let's get into today's video. I'm going to be talking about the waiting. I keep wanting to talk about waiting for literally anything, but I think this video is more for people who are waiting for success in their lives. If you are, you know, sitting at home, you've graduated, or you've not been able to go to school and you're struggling to get a job, this is for you. People who are in jobs they hate, positions they hate, and they're trying to get in, you know, the next job that they feel would feed them better, feed who they are. They feel like they would be in a much better space. This is for you. Literally, I feel like it can be about anything, right? Yeah, it really can be about anything you're waiting for. You could be waiting for a child, you could be waiting for marriage, you could be waiting for, you know, a relationship, you could be waiting to heal. It could be about anything. But what do you do when you're in waiting, and how do you keep productive? What you can do when you're waiting on your turn is to get to know yourself a little more. I think as human beings, we evolve. I feel like we evolve every day. There are certain things that we feel certain about until something happens and it questions it. So get to know yourself emotionally, mentally, and educate yourself as much as you can, and love on the people around you. Like, do things that feed your soul, do things that make you a better person tomorrow. That's what you can do when you're in waiting. Keeping productive when in waiting is to educate yourself. Read as much as you can. There are many different industries. There are many different mediums of studies we can use. You can be on YouTube and listen to people like me speak and encourage you. You could watch how-to videos. You can listen to people speak, people who've been through things that, you know, you want to get to. That's a form of education. You can read, you can watch documentaries, you can join webinars, you can, you know, read newspapers, you can read self-help books. Anything that helps you learn something new every day, or a different perspective every day, that is keeping productive towards, you know, the goals that you're trying to get to, you know. And it's encouraging yourself. And I feel like once you get to a place where you understand that feeding your space and your head and your emotional state and who you are first before you do anything else will benefit you more. Because sometimes when things are happening, we tend to lose ourselves. We end up not knowing what we're doing. So when you always check in with yourself emotionally, mentally, and you're trying to educate yourself and grow yourself, it'll be easier for you to grow into other spaces. So work every day, read, get mentors, Instagram, Twitter. You can learn something new every day, everywhere. Find things that work well for you. Find things that challenge you. Find things that question you and your thinking and your train of thought and your perspectives. That is learning. Yes, productive waiting is learning. I think sometimes we like getting busy doing nothing and we think we're being productive. Productive is when your perspective is challenged, is when you are challenged, is when your thinking is challenged, is when you learn something new. That is keeping productive. So yes, there is such a thing as keeping productive when you're in waiting, and that is working and proving to yourself that you'll be able to keep up once you receive your blessings. So get to work. I think there's a difference, and there's a difference between being in waiting and, you know, literally waiting for a miracle, like just sitting and not doing anything and hoping that, you know, being lazy, so to speak. Yes, there's a difference between being in waiting and being lazy, hoping that things are just going to happen. You're going to sleep today, tomorrow a miracle will happen. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately. You need to be up. If you're looking for that job, you need to be up, applying. You need to be educating yourself more, reading about sectors and industries. That is being in waiting. You are doing something that you not quite have achieved, or you've not quite, you know, reaped any rewards, but you're waiting. You're doing, but you're waiting. And then the other end to it is sitting and waiting for a miracle. That is what we would call as lazy, I guess. Yes, there's a difference. Get busy waiting. Centering. Okay. This is very important. So it's very easy to try and center yourself when you are at rock bottom, because you're spending more time with yourself. You're spending more time with your heart. You're spending more time with your mind. And when you learn about you and what you can do to become better, and, you know, confronting your demons and learning to be a better person, when you do all that work, automatically you will find that centering. You will find who you are, the core of who you are. You will find what makes you. You will find things that make you happy and things that upset you and things that are not for you, and you will want to work with those things. So center yourself. Find mediums of, it could be religion. Some people center themselves based on religion. Find things that make you you. Find the core of you, and then you'll be able to center yourself. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but we'll see. We'll see. That is centering yourself. How you do it is practicing the things that make you feel at home with yourself every day or every now and again. So reading is one of those for me. When I read literally about anything, I'm spending time with myself, and I'm spending time with my brain, where I sort of, you know, I could relate my life or my thinking to what I'm reading, or things that I've been through, the situations I've been through while I'm reading. And it's like it helps me gain perspective. When I spend time with myself, the 1 or 2 hours a day, or maybe 4 hours a week that I spend with myself, are days where I learn more about me and what makes me me, and how I center myself. Like, okay, this is who I am. This is what I'm about. I know I have nothing, but I'm still worthy. That is centering yourself. Things that have to do with who you are without all the materials of the world. I should have started with that. Yes, centering yourself is finding who you are and what you're about without all the materials of the world. Once you get to that point, and once you understand your worth and your value in who and what you are without looking at all the materials in the world, you have found a place to center yourself. And when you move from that position, when you move from, like, directly from that position, and you're moving to, you know, a job or a business or whatever, or your personal relationships, or, you know, your work relationships, you've centered yourself. You know what makes you who you are. You know how to go back when you're not feeling okay, when you're edgy, when you know that person needs time with yourself, and you go back to that, and that becomes your well of wisdom. That becomes your energy. That becomes, you know, the GPS you need when it comes to the direction of your life and your relationships. So get to know that person. It's very important to rest. I know it can become very difficult, especially in a lot of Black households. When you don't have job, you're you're nothing. You are looked some type of way. You are disrespected. You have no value. So when you say you're tired, it's like, what are you tired from, girl? You ain't got a job. And it's like, actually, you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're thinking. Being in your brain every day is hard, and you can get like mentally and emotionally exhausted. So take the time out, do what you can at home to help or wherever you are. And when you're tired, take the time out to spend with yourself. And that doesn't mean watch TV. It could be TV, but take the time out to remove everything around you and spend time with yourself. That is one of the biggest forms of rest that you need. Spending time with yourself, where you're just being and you're not watching anything on TV, you're not listening to anything, but you're just really spending time in the quietness. That is resting. That's a form of rest that does not compare. Deal with. It's very easy to feel embarrassed when you do not have a job. It's very easy to feel embarrassed when you are earning what we call as peanuts. It's very easy to feel embarrassed when you do not meet the standards of what is wanted in the world. Very, very easy, very easy. So one of the biggest things that I would love to encourage people is to spend time with yourself again. And when you understand and you know your value, it won't be as hard when people make fun of you, when people look down on you, when people don't take you seriously. It will be hard and it will be painful when you hear things that people have to say about you, or when you hear people laughing about you, when you know people are laughing at you. It's like you cannot not be able to feel that pain. But when you know yourself, when you understand yourself, when you understand your value, and when you understand that life is life and life happens, and sometimes you'll be up and sometimes you'll be down, and when you put your value on who you are as a human being, it won't be as bad. I promise you, it really won't be as bad. You'll still feel those days where you feel like you yourself are an embarrassment, or you feel like you are nothing, or you don't value, or you do not amount to anything. But when you spend time with yourself, you learn to maneuver around the world, and you learn to understand that the opinions of others about you and your life shouldn't matter as much to you as they do when you really care about what people have to say about you. So you understand and you make peace with the fact that it's an embarrassment and people are going to laugh at you, and you move from that. It's like that. You move from that. And if you can avoid those people that make you feel less than or make you feel worthless, spend time away from those people. You do not have to turn them into enemies, but you do not have to spend time and spend your energy around things that take away from it in a negative form and want to bring into you like negativity. You don't need that. So embarrassment is there. Sometimes you will feel it because it's how you see yourself, but sometimes it's people who will be more understanding. And try not to put yourself into so much pressure that you want to do things that you would want to. You want to go on holidays with friends who are in relationships. You want to do this, you want to do that, but you can't afford it. So know where you are, understand your bracket, understand your finances, and make peace with that. And while you're making peace with that and you're trying to, do things differently, work towards achieving the life that you want. I think when you get to that point, once you start having money, you're not going to be the person now who rubs it into other people's faces. So it has to do with who you are a lot. Spend time with yourself, learn yourself, educate yourself, reprimand yourself, encourage yourself, celebrate yourself. I almost said punish yourself. But you know what? No. That's that. It's embarrassing, but you get over it. How do you carry yourself in waiting? You carry yourself as you would when you're not waiting. When you hold yourself of a higher standard and you understand that who you are has nothing to do with all the materials around you, then you won't be the person that has to change or that person that changes once they make it. So when you do things, you'll be doing things for yourself and not for the next person. How you carry yourself when you don't have money should be how you carry yourself when you do have money. And that is respect, that is honor, that is holding yourself of value, that is loving yourself, that is respecting the people around you, loving them, and having boundaries. When you have boundaries when you don't have nothing, have thicker boundaries when you have something. And how you treat yourself should be how you treat the next person. That's my take on it. You have a lot of value because, like I said, you as a person alone, being alive, there's value in you. It might not be valuable to a company that does steel work, but you yourself as a human being have value. You have something that was put in you by God or your ancestors, or by the higher spirit and power that was put in you to make use of on earth. So your value lies in who you are inside. Your value lies in who you are as a human being. And if you want to value yourself when you only have money, or if you see value only when it's monetary or like materialistic, then you don't really know what value is. It's not money. When you have money, it carries a lot of weight. I get that and I respect that, and we all want money. I want money. I want a lot of money. But who I am now, it's not about money, and I know that I'm valuable, and I treat myself as such, and I always have, and I really pray that I always will. And valuing yourself does not mean you look down on people. Valuing yourself does not mean, you know, you're above everyone else. It's saying, this is who I am. This is what I am. This is what I have to offer. It can be material. It cannot. Like, it can be material, and sometimes it isn't. But for me personally, the true value of a human being does not lie where their material is. It doesn't. It doesn't. How do you deal with FOMO? Is real. FOMO is real. FOMO is real. So the one biggest question that you should ask yourself when you feel like you're missing out is, what are you missing out on today that won't be there tomorrow when you have money? It does feel like you're missing time. We could say time, you know, you're growing older, you can't do, but what is the joy of life that you feel when you are 10 years old, or when you're 25 years old, you're not going to be able to have when you're 29? That's what it is for me. So I do feel FOMO, like, oh, I want to go on a holiday, I want to do this, I want to do that, but that's not where I am now, and I need to make peace with that. So I make peace with it, and you know, I forget about it tomorrow. And I think it has to do with the type of person you are. If you're a person that, you know, goes with the wind, you're going to feel a lot of FOMO, and it's going to be there and it's going to depress you. But if you're a person that is just about you and your life and things, that your taste is very singular and your taste is very personal, then when you lose, and you're like, oh, I lost out, I'm sad. But you know that there are better days ahead, and there are better things that you can do that would make you happier or fit you better as a human being. So FOMO is real. You just have to make peace with it and understand what makes you happy, and do those things that you can do that make you happy. Like me, reading and cooking. Loving yourself should be about you and not about the things that you can acquire. I feel like all my answers are the same, but it really is about you and who you are and what you value the most. So assess your values and love yourself, man. If you don't love yourself, no one else will. If you don't respect yourself, no one else will. So when you love yourself and you're okay with who you are and where you are in your life, you can respect your weight. And when you respect when you respect the waiting of your turn, it protects you from doing things and getting into things that you have no business being into in the first place. Like, you will find yourself selling your soul just to have what everyone else has, and it's like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So love yourself. You're valuable. Who you are as a person, where you are, and what you have to offer in this world is much more valuable than you wanting to be like somebody else. So spend time with yourself. Forgive yourself for things that you've done wrong, things that you weren't able to achieve, and just love yourself. That's it. There's nothing more to it. There's nothing less. Just spend time loving yourself. Maybe in my next video we'll talk about what it is to love yourself. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. But thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.